So we are going to continue reading from Bhagavad Gita, introduction. There are many examples given of how we are to utilize those things which are set aside for us by the Lord. This is also explained in Bhagavad Gita. In the beginning, Arjuna decided that he should not fight in the battle of Kurukshetra. This was his own decision. Arjuna told the Lord that it was not possible for him to enjoy the kingdom after killing his own kinsman. This decision was based on the body because he was thinking that the body was himself and that the bodily relations or expansions were his brothers, nephews, brothers-in-law, grandfathers, and so on. Therefore, he wanted to satisfy his bodily demands. So Arjuna, in the beginning, he said, I'm not going to fight. He gave 5 reasons about it. And one of the reasons was that he wouldn't be able to enjoy the kingdom. He said, I'm going to fight so much. I'm going to kill everyone. Who will I show the kingdom to? Who will I enjoy the kingdom with? We are like that, right? When we get something new or nice, we want to share it with others, show to others, enjoy it with them. Say, I'm not going to be able to enjoy it, so I won't fight. So Krishna said, he gave him the knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita to change this view, because Arjuna was thinking that he's the body and all his grandfather, brother-in-law, brother, nephew, they're all body, not the soul. So it was his bodily attachment. Bhagavad Gita was spoken just by the Lord, just to change this view. And at the end, Arjuna decides to fight under the directions of the Lord. When he says, Karishyase vachanam tava, I shall act according to your word. According to your word. In this world, men are not meant for fighting, for quarreling like cats and dogs. Men must be intelligent to realize the importance of human life and refuse to act like ordinary animals. So what happens is, if our time is wasted in quarreling, we are not able to understand. We could die at any moment. We think, oh, I'm going to live forever. It's okay, later, I still have time. But there's no guarantee. Life could go on. We could leave this body at any moment. So we are not supposed to be just so engrossed in bodily activities. We need to be intelligent to realize, hey, what is this life that I have been given for? What's happening? A human being should realize the aim of his life, and this direction is given in all Vedic literatures, and the essence is given in Bhagavad Gita. So Bhagavatam says that even if you don't even ask the question, if you don't even begin to inquire that why do I exist, what's happening, who am I, then Bhagavatam is saying you're a 2-legged animal. 2-legged, not even a human being. You're an animal on 2 legs. So now the essence of all the Vedic literatures is given in the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna is speaking this knowledge by himself. Vedic literature is meant for human beings, not for animals. Animals can kill other living animals, and there is no question of sin on their part. But if a man kills an animal for the satisfaction of his uncontrolled taste, he must be responsible for breaking the laws of nature. So the laws of nature don't apply to the animals. Their modes are fixed. The control, the body they are in, and the control of the modes is fixed over there. A tiger is not going to eat grass. He is going to eat other animals. He's going to roar. He's not going to think, oh, should I eat grass today or should I eat animal today? No. The modes are very strong, does not give him that opportunity. But human being, when a human being, if we kill an animal for our desire, then we get the law of karma. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is clearly explained that there are 3 kinds of activities according to the different modes of nature. The activities of goodness, of passion, and of ignorance. Similarly, there are 3 kinds of eatables also. Eatables in goodness, passion, and ignorance. All of this is clearly described. And if we properly utilize the instructions of Bhagavad Gita, then our whole life will become purified. And ultimately, we will be able to reach the destination, which is beyond this material sky. So Bhagavad Gita is giving us a map. It's giving us a roadmap of how to do, what not to do. Why? Just so that it's giving us a roadmap to the spiritual world. We are the souls. We are right now in the body. We have forgotten how to go back. By following the Bhagavad Gita, we can easily reach the spiritual world. So all the activities that we do, they're under these modes of nature: goodness, passion, and ignorance. So anything we eat is also under these modes. Our speech is also under these modes. Charity is under the modes. Anything we can think of is under these modes. So Krishna is explaining very clearly, oh, if you do this, you're going to get this result. If you do this, you're going to get this result. So you act in this way, so there is no result, and you can easily come out of this material world. Is that okay? Till now, what we have read?
Yeah, we are affected by the modes because we are in the material world, right?
Yeah. Yes, the body, no? This
the
body
body
is controlled by the modes of nature.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the spiritual world, that destination is called the Sanatan sky, the eternal spiritual sky. Yad gatvana nivartante, tad dhama paramam mama. In this material world, we find that everything is temporary. It comes into being, stays for some time, produces some byproducts, dwindles, and then vanishes. That is the law of the material world. Whether we use as an example this body or a piece of fruit or anything. So we can think, everything in our experience, whatever we experience, whatever we are seeing, always has a manufacture date and expiry date. Some, expiry dates are much longer. Some expiry dates are longer, but this expiry date is there. It is there. And that is the law of the material world. That is the law of the material world. But beyond this temporary world, there is another world of which we have information. That world consists of another nature, which is Sanatan, eternal. So the spiritual world is an eternal world. Over there is no deterioration, how we are seeing. We can see by our own bodies, Even if we see 10 years ago and now, our bodies are deteriorating in front of us. We are saying, oh my God, what's happening? What's happening? In front of us, it's being deteriorated. So, but the spiritual world, it's eternal. No one gets old there. No one is born, and so no one dies. Nothing gets rotten. Nothing gets rotten over there. So the jiva is also described as Sanatana, eternal. And the Lord is also described as Sanatana in the 11th chapter. So we have to see the living entity, the jiva. Who is the living entity? Is it the body or is it the soul? Anyone?
The soul, right?
That's right. It is the soul that is eternal. And it is the soul that is the jiva. It is the soul that is the living entity. We are thinking it's the body, but it's the soul. So the soul is eternal, Sanatan, and the Supreme Lord is also Sanatan. We have an intimate relationship with the Lord. And because we are all qualitatively one, the Sanatan Dham or sky, the Sanatan Supreme Personality, and the Sanatan living entities, the whole purpose of Bhagavad Gita is to revive our Sanatan occupation or Sanatan Dharma, which is the eternal occupation of the living entity. So many people say religion, but what we are referring to religion, Prabhupada would say, is like kind of a faith. And faith can be changed. Somebody will say, oh, I'm following Hindu religion, but he can change and become a Christian religion, and he can change to become a Muslim religion. But that is not religion, actually. That is faith. We are taking one path of faith. Religion, dharma, Dharma is eternal, Sanatan, that which cannot change. And what is that Sanatan Dharma? Is the loving service to the Supreme Lord. That is Sanatan Dharma, Sanatan occupation. And this is what Bhagavad Gita is trying to explain to us. The Bhagavad Gita is trying to help us revive it. Help us revive it. Because we imagine, we and God, we have an eternal relationship. We look at God as someone very far away who we don't know something. Maybe he's there, maybe he's not there, maybe he's just an energy, maybe, we have very vague ideas. But if we read Bhagavad Gita and follow it properly, Bhagavad Gita is saying that there is God and I am here, I'm there, and God is there, and I have an intimate relationship with God. And I can be situated in that relationship only if I apply what Bhagavad Gita is telling me. So we are temporarily engaged in different activities, but all of these activities can be purified. When we give up all these temporary activities and take up the activities which are prescribed by the Supreme Lord, that is called our pure life. So we are thinking we are the body, we are doing everything based on the body, we are doing, all our energy is going around, running around, this is mine, this is me, I can be happy if I do this, I'll be sad if I don't do this, all these things. But these are the activities which we are doing because we are in this body. Now if we change and take up another body, then same, we will do activities related to that body. So all these activities are temporary, but we have eternal activities. The soul has eternal activities, and that is what Bhagavad Gita is trying to tell us. Is that okay?
Okay, as humans, we are doing all different activities, what comes in our way. But as a soul, what is the activity we are actually doing in this body?
So only when we are doing bhakti, because the bhakti is the activity of the soul.
Okay, so many years the soul was just quietly sitting there. I mean, not doing anything.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. That's why it's called wake up, sleeping souls.
Okay.
Yeah. So the activity of the soul is bhakti. Connect everything to Krishna. That is the activity of the soul. So right now we are in the body, then we'll say, oh, whole day I cannot hear and chant. I have to eat food. Yeah, sure, of course, eat food. Eat food, first offer to Krishna and then eat. That's also bhakti. So right now we are inside the body and we can use this body to do our eternal activity. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Like basically remember the Lord every minute or every time you do something. Like keep him first prior to anything and everything that you wish and will to do.
Yeah. Yeah, like Krishna says in chapter 9, I think it's text 27, that whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you give away, oh Arjuna, do it as an offering to me. So Krishna is saying, okay, you have certain, right now you are in the body, okay, you are the soul, but right now you're in the body. So there's certain, you have to do certain duties according to the body. Okay, no problem. You do this as an offering for me. You connect these duties to me. You offer the results of these activities to me. And that is not going to give us any karma because we are connecting it to Krishna. And that's the activity of the soul. And so that's the reason we need to keep chanting, because Krishna tells Arjuna that you fix your mind on me and then you do your duty. Whatever duty you have, you do. But first you fix your mind on me. Now, how can we fix our mind on Krishna? Our mind is on so many different things except Krishna. So how can we fix our mind on Krishna and do our duties? Anyone?
Yeah, like just offer, I mean, do anything and everything, just like say one time his name and then just do your activity.
Yeah, but then we'll forget, no?
No, that you have to remind yourself, no?
Yeah, so that's
Hear
right.
and
Exactly.
chant.
Very good. So that's why we have to chant.
Lunchtime, I want my food the same way, na? Like I've not remembered him. Remember him once first, and then like say his name once first, and then I can do my other things.
Yes. So that's why we have to chant. That's the reason the process given to us is easy. Okay, you do your chanting every day. You do your chanting so that whatever other activities you do throughout the day, you will be able to remember Krishna. That's why this process is given like this to us. That we do our hearing and chanting. So throughout the day, we can remember him when we are doing our duties. Is that okay? The Supreme, yeah. I'm sorry.
Yes.
No. Yes.
Okay. So the Supreme Lord and his transcendental abode are both Sanatan as other living entities, and the combined association of the Supreme Lord and the living entities in the Sanatan abode is the perfection of human life. So the Lord is Sanatan, eternal. The souls, the living entities are Sanatan, eternal. The spiritual world that is called the transcendental abode, that is called Sanatan, eternal. So what is our perfection? If we can go to the spiritual world and live there with the Lord, that means that's the perfection of human life. We really use this human life for what it is, So there's 8,400,000 species of life, out of which one of the species is the human being. The Lord especially made this human being life so that the soul can take advantage, try to understand what's happening, why he's here, why he's not here, and then get out of here. So once we are actually out of here, we are perfected. So the Lord is very kind to the living entities because they are his sons. Lord Krishna declares in Bhagavad Gita, Sarva Yonishu Aham Vija Pradapitaha. I am the father of all. Of course, there are all types of living entities according to their various karmas. But here the Lord claims that he's the father of all of them. Therefore, the Lord descends to reclaim all of these fallen conditioned souls to call them back to the Sanatan, eternal sky, so that the Sanatan living entities may regain their eternal Sanatan positions in eternal association with the Lord. So it is in this human form of life that we can, it's like a window. 8,400,000 species, out of it only 400,000 is human beings. 8 million is below that. So in 8 million cannot get out. Only in this human form can get out. So it's very difficult, first of all. Now, the Lord, especially, he comes, he speaks, gives us the information, speaks to us in Bhagavad Gita, or sends his devotees. Why? To tell us, hey, you're not the body, you're the soul. Get out of here. Get out of here. Come back. Come back to the spiritual world. Come back to your own true identity. Each and every soul has an identity. Each and every soul has a particular form. Each and every soul has a particular duty. So it means I am right now here in this material world, and I'm neglecting what is my true duty. I have some particular duty to perform in the spiritual world, which I'm not doing. I'm loitering around here thinking I'm the body. So Krishna comes himself, or he sends his incarnations, or he sends his messengers, the acharyas, or the bona fide spiritual masters, to come tell us about these things so that we can go back. Therefore, Sanatana Dharma does not refer to any sectarian process of religion. It is the eternal function of the eternal living entities in relationship with the eternal Supreme Lord. Sanatana Dharma refers, as stated previously, to the eternal occupation of the living entity. So eternal occupation, what am I? Why do I exist? What am I supposed to do eternally? Now we are trying to understand, I'm not the body, I'm the soul. So even if I give up this body, where will I go? So if I'm still in the material world, I'll take up another body and then I will act according to that body. But that's what we have to get out of. We have to get out because we have an eternal occupation. An eternal occupation, and that is Sanatana Dharma. And that eternal occupation is with the eternal Supreme Lord. Sripad Ramanujacharya has explained the word Sanatan as that which has neither beginning nor end. So when we speak of Sanatana Dharma, we must take it for granted on the authority of Sripad Ramanujacharya that it has neither beginning nor end. So Ramanujacharya, he is the Acharya of the Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya. He's a very great devotee. And he has explained what does Sanatan mean. Sanatan means eternal, that which has no beginning. And because it has no beginning, it has no end. So it's eternally there. Eternally there. So religion, nonsense. Okay. So do you want to stop here or you want to continue with this part of religion and Sanatana Dharma? There are these two more paragraphs which deal with Sanatana Dharma.
I'm
Anyone?
okay.
I think we can we can just do these two more.
Okay. So the English word religion is a little different from Sanatana Dharma. Religion Religion conveys the idea of faith, and faith may change. One may have faith in a particular process, and he may change this faith and adopt another. But Sanatana Dharma refers to that activity which cannot be changed. So as we just said, that faith can be changed. Somebody is saying Hindu Dharma, when we can change it to Christian Dharma, we can. So that is faith. Because if we are talking about Sanatana Dharma, and if it's eternal, something eternal can never be changed. Means there is an activity, the soul has an activity which can never be changed. For instance, liquidity cannot be taken from water, nor can heat be taken from fire. So water is always liquid. If we change it, then water becomes ice, or water will become steam. So, but water, if we want, it is liquid. Nor can heat be taken from fire. Fire is always hot. Similarly, the eternal function of the living and eternal living entity cannot be taken from the living entity. Sanatana Dharma is eternally integral with the living entity. When we speak of Sanatana Dharma, therefore, we must take it for granted on the authority of Sripad Ramanujacharya that it has neither beginning nor end. So the living entity, the soul, has a certain activity which it always does, can never stop to do. Sorry. That which has neither end nor beginning must not be sectarian, for it cannot be limited by any boundaries. Those belonging to some sectarian faith will wrongly consider that Sanatana Dharma is also sectarian. But if we go deeply into the matter and consider it in the light of modern science, it is possible for us to see that Sanatana Dharma is the business of all the people of the world, nay, of all the living entities of the universe. So living entities are everywhere. Not only that human beings are living entities, animals are also living entities. Plants are also living entities, birds are also living entities. So if Sanatana Dharma is the eternal occupation of the living entity, then it is the occupation of every living entity, not only for some species or not only for some country or community or any planet or any universe. It is for every living entity. Non-Sanatan religious faiths may have some beginning in the annals of human history, but there is no beginning to the history of Sanatana Dharma because it remains eternally with the living entities. Insofar as the living entities are concerned, the authoritative Shastras state that the living entity has neither birth nor death. In the Gita, it is stated that the living entity is never born and he never dies. He's eternal and indestructible, and he continues to live after the destruction of his temporary material body. In reference to the concept of Sanatana Dharma, we must try to understand the concept of religion from the Sanskrit root meaning of the word. Dharma refers to that which is constantly existing with a particular object. So if it's Sanatan, means if it's eternal, means it always exists. Always exists. The soul is always existing, never dies. And so the Dharma of the soul is always with it. We can't change that. From sugar, we can't change away sweetness. We cannot take out the sweetness from sugar. Not possible. Or we cannot take away the chili from the chili. Right? That's the way it is. So the soul also has a Sanatana Dharma, which can never be changed. In reference to the concept of Sanatana Dharma, we must try to understand the concept of religion from the Sanskrit root meaning of the word. Dharma refers to that which is constantly existing with a particular object. So if we want to understand, then we see Dharma. What is Dharma? That which is existing constantly with a particular object. We conclude that there is heat and light along with the fire. Without heat and light, there is no meaning to the word fire. Similarly, we must discover the essential part of the living being, that part which is his constant companion. That constant companion is his eternal quality, and that eternal quality is his eternal religion. So this is what we must try to find out. What is my Dharma? What is my Sanatana Dharma? Because I am eternal. The soul never changes. I never change. So that means my activity, what I'm doing also, is never going to change. Fire always will give heat and light. Fire always will give heat and light. Sugar will always be sweet. It's not that after millions of years, sugar is not going to be sweet. There's no meaning to the word sugar then. It's a completely different thing then. So that is what we have to try to understand. I am the living being. And so what is my Dharma? What is my eternal quality? And the more we hear and chant, it will become apparent. It becomes apparent when we hear and chant. We will be able to realize that. But we'll read in the next paragraph how the eternal Dharma, Sanatana Dharma of every living entity is service. That we'll read that next week. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Any comments? You wanted to add anything?
All clear.
No, all good. But I just wanted to say one thing, that the importance of the kirtan that we do in the beginning. Somebody asked Prabhupada that why you do this, and then he said that when we come to attend, then our conscious might not be in the kirtan that moment, but when we start, like maybe we are coming from a fight or I had an argument, and then when we come and then we get our conscious of 5 minutes kirtan, then we get the conscious in Krishna, and then whatever we read that touches our heart more.
Thank you.
It's like warm up before your training, like how you do warm up before your training. We conscious में बोलते हैं ना वो mood create करने के लिए run होता है.
बहुत अलग अलग चीजों में
हाँ वही
चीजें
मतलब
होती है, so
थोड़ा
we have
फोकस
to.
करे, थोड़ा उधर थोड़ा डाइवर्ट हो माइंड,
Yes.
इसलिए हम करते हैं
So
स्टार्टिंग।
this is the importance, and this is must. Like even we
Yeah.
do Mangalacharan and everything. So that is that you are
Yes.
offering them. So हम
Yes.
अपना ज्ञान वहाँ पे लेकर आ रहे हैं. So this is very very important what we do of 5 minutes of kirtan.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. And also by kirtan, we are directly appealing to the Lord for his mercy. We are singing his name, right?
Yeah.
So Lord Chaitanya, in this age of Kali, he has said Sankirtan, no? Sankirtan is what is needed in this age of Kali. That is our Yuga Dharma.
Yeah.
You know, so we are associating with the Lord. We are calling for the mercy of the Lord, and he becomes more. He becomes more favorable to us, to listen to us. We become favorable to him.
Yes.
So
And
kirtan
it's
is
not
very
that
powerful.
वो कीर्तन मतलब आप दिन में कभी भी कर सकते हो, ऐसा कंपलसरी भी नहीं है कि बस यही करना है, आप बाद में भी
anytime. Yes.
And kirtan helps us to remember the Lord throughout the
सूत्र एवरीथिंग रिलेटेड टू कृष्णा. एक प्रेयर भी कि आप वो पूरा दिन आप उसको क्या बोलते हो गुनगुनाओगे तो भी आपके लिए वो अच्छा ही है ना.
Yeah, it's true.
स्तोत्र है, भजन है, भाव हम लोगों में भाव, हम स्वाध्याय में भावगीत बोलते हैं तो भावगीत है. Anything which brings close you to Krishna is your bhakti.
Very good.
And that only is counted. Rest all is material. ये बहुत easy है लेकिन समझना कभी-कभी difficult भी हो जाता है.
और कीर्तन जब हम कीर्तन करते हैं हरे कृष्णा का, it's more easy to keep remembering the kirtan. More easier throughout the day. So Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Thank you. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Shila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Hare